let's talk about what your metaverse strategy ought to look like. And perhaps you don't have one. Perhaps you don't need to take any proactive steps necessarily. It's better to have an informed decision about what you're going to do or not do rather than having something be decided for you by default. I am a very unconventional trademark attorney in that I don't necessarily think you need to file a trademark application for everything, but I'd like you to have a good idea of what you're doing purposely, right? So over the last, I'd say 3 to 6 months, I've gotten a lot of inquiries about the metaverse and NFTs, and that's kind of where this CLE came from. I'm getting a lot of questions like, I don't know what the metaverse is. I'm hearing a lot of people spending money on NFTs, and how can I take advantage of this land rush or this, boom in industry? Should I be doing anything proactively to protect my brand? Because maybe I want to be in the metaverse, maybe I don't. Clearly, if you are minting NFTs and offering branded crypto, yes, let's have a conversation. Let's crack open that agreement and figure out where we need to file, how, and things like that. Like, for instance, in China, cryptocurrency isn't recognized as a valid use in which you can register. So there's a lot of intricacies there, right? So, and we have filed applications for companies that are doing that, but the majority of my clients are more about maybe dipping their toe, trying to figure out, is this something that their industry is going towards, and should I protect myself preemptively, right? There are 2 ways of approaching this. You can blanket the registry, file all sorts of different kinds of applications for NFT, crypto, metaverse, and that it could be a good strategy for some, but the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the United States, right, the trademark law here, it's a first-to-use country. So that means in order to have a registration, you have to actually use the mark. So if you file for all sorts of different crypto and NFT type goods and services, but never actually use it, your application will never mature to registration, right? So you only have a temporary blocking effect. Candidly, if your concern is more international, you could still file an application here and then extend it forward and have registrations in foreign jurisdictions. So there's lots of different considerations. But most of my clients are not want to spend that much money on a what if, right? They want to have some level of protection, but not invest too much just yet. So for those types of clients, what I would suggest doing is, 1, taking a good look at their current portfolio and making sure that they're protected for their actual in real life goods and services they're offering, making sure that that's, taken care of. There's no point in spending money on a what if you're not spending money to protect your actual goods and services. Once that's done, what I suggest doing is, you can file trademark applications for your trademark for related sort of goods and services. And what I mean by that is, you don't necessarily have to file an application for your trademark for metaverse specific goods and services, but it could be for online community. Online community can mean all sorts of things. It could be that you have, registered users to your website, and you have a live casting of some video content, and you have a community formed, right? You can file an application for digital art, and it doesn't have to necessarily be an NFT. It could just be an in-house graphic artist that are offering, promotional digital art to their customers. So there's lots of ways to protect yourself without having to protect yourself proactively, especially if you're not quite sure if that's the direction that you're going in terms of your own business, and even if it's not, that you want to protect yourself. So lots of different factors at play, and it's really dependent on the company and on the industry, but I think there's definitely opportunities to help protect your intellectual property.